Hi there, Aries. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Astrogirl, and this is your stars for the week January 27 through February 2. And this is a very interesting week. There's a lot going on. It's the end of January, and it ends with a new moon in Aquarius and the start of the Chinese New Year. Now, in February, there is no new moon because it's such a short month, and because we had two new moons in January and a new moon March 1st in Pisces. So February is new moonless. However, there is a full moon in February on the 14th in Leo, the King of Hearts, on Valentine's Day. More about that, however, as we approach it. This week, as I said, with the new moon in Aquarius, your 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes, and friendship, it's a good time for you to finally really dust off all those doubts and concerns you've had about somebody who you thought was a really good friend of yours and who maybe has turned out not to be such a good friend, and place them in a category you feel comfortable with. You don't have to be their best friend. You don't have to check in on them like you maybe did. You don't have to be, by their side every time you go out, or vice versa. Sometimes friends get downgraded and upgraded, and it's not necessarily something we talk about, but especially amongst women, you can meet somebody and hit it off and have a great time together, and then about 2-3 months into it, you start finding out things about someone, or really getting to know somebody, or realizing they're a bit of a flake, or they're a bit cheap, or they're always late, and you realize that you need to downgrade that friendship. And this is what's happening now with the planets slowly but surely setting up house in Aquarius, which, as I said, is a very important air sign for you. And this week, as I said, it's a Chinese New Year, and this is known as a very interesting year for those people who really go by the Chinese horoscope. And it looks like the economy may be showing some signs of life. Mercury takes a turn by going off into a very intuitive huddle, and on Thursday, the moon on its monthly trek meets up with the sun in the sign of Aquarius, forming the Aquarius new moon. In this Chinese astrology, 2014 is the year of the wood horse, which is said to be a strong year with positive energy because the wood element adds stability to the horse's exuberant nature. Given what's been happening during the last 2 years of the dragon and the snake, it looks like the stable wood horse has galloped onto the scene just in time. And on Friday, January 31st, the same day as the Chinese New Year, Venus ends her retrograde cycle in Capricorn, lands right in Pluto's lap, which can indicate a crisis or transformation for personal relationships. Then, as if Friday, January 31st weren't already busy enough, it's also the day Mercury leaves Aquarius and moves into Pisces. Get ready to be very flexible, Aries, for the next couple of weeks, because Mercury will be moving back and forth between Pisces and Aquarius until April, and going retrograde February 6 in Pisces, and being retrograde for most of February. So just going ahead, we're just getting Venus retrograde over with, and we're about to go into a Mercury retrograde. Very busy week. I think by the end of this week, we're all going to feel slightly exhausted, especially Aquarians. However, if you know anyone born under the sign of Aquarius, they're a really good person to know and to learn from, because they have such wonderful intuition right now. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I look forward to speaking to you again next week, Aries.